Hi, I am Dr. Arsalan and today we are going to solve MCQs related to the structure of virus. So the first question is, all viruses are haploid except. So it should be kept in our mind that all of the viruses as well as prokaryotes or bacteria, they bear haploid genome. Their genome is haploid. The options given are bacteriophage, pox virus, retrovirus and adenovirus. Bacteriophage, pox virus, and adenovirus, they also bear haploid genome, except the retrovirus. So the correct option is retrovirus. Retrovirus contains two molecules of positive sense single-stranded RNA molecules. They have two sets of positive sense single-stranded RNA molecules. The concepts regarding genome of viruses, including positive or negative sense RNA or DNA viruses, you should watch my previous video on Baltimore classification, which is given in the description box. In that video, you will learn all the 7 classes of viruses divided or classified upon the genome of viruses, and all the concepts regarding the genome of viruses will easily be learned through that video. So you should also go through that lecture. So the answer here is retroviruses. These are the exceptional cases of viruses which are diploid in nature. These are the only viruses which are diploid in nature. Otherwise, rest of the viruses as well as bacteria, they have haploid genome. For example, in case of bacteria, they have single chromosome. So this is also haploid genome. Next question is, which of the following viruses is largest? So he is asking about the largest virus. We had discussed in our previous lecture that the smallest virus is picornavirus, largest virus is pox virus of size 300 nanometer length. So the pox virus has size of 300 nanometer. So the given options are adenovirus, rotavirus, togavirus, and smallpox virus. The smallpox virus, it belongs to the family of poxviridae, so this is the correct option. And the smallpox virus is the largest virus. You should not be confused with its name of smallpox. It produces small skin lesions. Therefore, this is called smallpox virus. Otherwise, this is a pox virus, the largest of the viruses. Question is, most of the prokaryotic viruses have dash in their genome, plants viruses have dash, and fungal viruses have dash. So the questionnaire or examiner is asking about the genome of the viral classes. The first one is prokaryotic viruses. He is referring to the bacteriophage. Prokaryotic viruses are those viruses which infect prokaryotes or bacteria. So this is the bacteriophage. And we should keep in our mind that the bacteriophage, these may be of RNA type or DNA type, but most of the bacteriophage, they have double-stranded DNA in their genome. From the options, double-stranded DNA in their genome. Plant viruses, they have single-stranded RNA in their genome, and the fungal viruses, they have double-stranded RNA in their genome. So these are categorized on the basis of their genome, that the bacteriophage have double-stranded DNA in most of the cases, while plant viruses, mostly these have single-stranded RNA molecules in their genome, and fungal viruses have double-stranded RNA molecules in their. Next question is, most common capsid shape of virus is rod-shaped, brick-shaped, bullet-shaped, or icosahedron. This is a simple question. He is asking about the shape of the capsid, the protein coat of viruses in which the genetic material is enclosed. So the correct option here is icosahedron. It is the most common shape of capsid of virus. Icosa is a Greek word. It means 20. So it has three characteristics you should keep in mind, that has 20 faces, therefore it's called icosahedron. It has 12 vertices. Vertex means when the point where two or more lines are joined to each other. This is the point, this is another point, and this is another point. This is the vertex where two lines are joined to each other. This is called vertex. So it has 12 vertices and 30 edges. So this is the characteristics of icosahedron symmetry of virus having 20 faces, 12 vertices and 30 edges, and this is the most common shape of capsid of virus. Next question is satellite RNAs are located in options are bacteriophage, plant viruses, animal viruses, or all of these options. So, what are satellite RNA molecules? Satellite RNA molecules are the subviral agents or subviral particles which, with the help of helper viruses, infect the host and start replication in these cells. Otherwise, without helper viruses, these cannot replicate on their own. Therefore, these are called subviral agents, and these cause co-infection with other viruses. These infect the host cell and cause multiple type of infections. So, these are the satellite RNA molecules which are located in all types of viruses in bacteriophage, plant viruses, animal viruses. So the correct option is all of these. But in some circumstances, the questionnaire asks that most of the RNAs, if he is adding word of most of the RNAs or most of the satellite RNAs are located in, then the correct option will be plant viruses, because the satellite RNAs, these are present in all sorts of viruses, but these are more prevalent, more concentrated in the plant viruses. So if the examiner is asking that most of the satellite RNAs are located in, then the correct option is plant viruses. Otherwise, the satellite viruses, as in this question, these are located in all sorts of viruses, all types of viruses. T4 bacteriophage generally infects. T4 is a notorious bacteriophage, the virus which infect bacteria. So all these given are bacteria. The options are Staphylococcus aureus, Escherichia coli, Lactobacillus, or all of the bacteria are infected by T4 bacteriophage. So we should keep in mind that T4 bacteriophage, these generally infect E. coli, Escherichia coli bacteria. The complete name is Escherichia coli, as it is biological name, so this should be underlined. Therefore, due to this word coli, as these are located in colon, the large intestine segment, these bacteriophages are also called coliphages due to their host. Next question arises that T4 bacteriophage, why it does not affect other bacteria? Because the T4 bacteriophage receptors are located on the surface of Escherichia coli bacteria. So these bacteriophages do not bind to other type of bacteria except Escherichia coli. So the general host of T4 bacteriophage is Escherichia coli bacteria. The correct option is E. coli or Escherichia coli. Virus following lysogenic cycle in bacteria are called. Viruses in this question are following the lysogenic cycle, the host-guest relationship. This is a type of life cycle of bacteriophage in which the bacteria and the bacteriophage, these are living in harmony condition without harming each other. So this is called lysogenic cycle, in contrast to the lytic cycle in which the bacteriophage splits or break down the bacterial cell. So in this case, lysogenic cycle, the options given are temperate phage, bacteriophage, prophage, or all of these. So the first option, the temperate phage, it is the synonym of the viruses, the bacteriophage, which undergo lysogenic cycle. So this is the correct option. The bacteriophage which undergoes lysogenic cycle is also called as temperate phage. So this is the correct option. Other options are bacteriophage. This is a general term used for the viruses which infect bacteria. Prophage, this is a stage of bacteriophage in which the genome of bacteriophage and bacteria are intermingled or mixed with each other. This is called prophage. And all of these, so these are not correlated with each other. Therefore, the correct option is temperate phage. Next question is, dash proteins initiate viral infections. The options given are HN, M1, F, or Prions. All these four options have deep concepts. The first option is HN, hemagglutinin neuraminidase. Second option is M1. These are the matrix proteins just beneath the lipid envelope of viruses. These are called M1 proteins. So these are located in the matrix of virus. F proteins are glycoproteins which are present on the surface of viruses and help in attachment of virions or viruses to the host cell. So these are attachment proteins. And prions, these are the abnormal proteins produced in the body which get infectious nature. So these are called prions. For example, these are causing scrapie disease in human or animals. So these are the body's own proteins, have no concern with the viruses. So this is not correct option. These are somewhat related to the infectious nature. And one proteins are matrix proteins. These are structural proteins, so these are also incorrect. And the hemagglutinin neuraminidase, this is the most appropriate option because hemagglutinin and neuraminidase, these are basically proteins, or we can say these are the antigens which are located on the virus surface, and these enable the virus attachment to the host cell. They have cell surface receptors, the receptors which are located on their surfaces. These are recognized by these antigens, and then the virus attaches to the host, injects its genome into the host and start infection. So this is the most appropriate option, that hemagglutinin and neuraminidase, these are the antigenic proteins which initiate infections of viruses in the hosts. Influenza A virus has dash genome. He is asking about the genetic makeup of the influenza A type virus. Options are positive sense single stranded RNA, negative sense single stranded RNA, double stranded RNA, single stranded DNA, or double stranded DNA. All these concepts regarding the DNA and RNA types can be learned through our previous lecture on Baltimore classification. I told you earlier that the link of this video is given in the description box. First of all, you have to learn that concepts of types of viruses on the basis of their genome. There are 7 classes discussed in Baltimore classification system. So thereafter you can be able to learn about the genetic makeup of the viruses. So the influenza A virus, the correct option given here is positive sense RNA. This belongs to the category of positive sense single stranded RNA viruses. Question of our today's lecture is a clinical case. This is a clinical case brought to you of an old lady with the signs of flu, fever, headache, myalgia, and painful throat. So these are the clinical signs of the case: flu, fever, headache, myalgia, and painful throat, clearly indicating a respiratory tract infection due to flu associated with fever and headache. He is asking about the specimen will you send to the laboratory for confirmatory diagnosis. Before going to treat the case, you have to confirm the underlying cause of the disease. So for confirmatory diagnosis, you have to take help of laboratory facility. So the specimen given here are oropharyngeal swab, nasopharyngeal swab, sputum, blood, or fecal material, or stool. So clinical case is indicating the respiratory tract infection. So the concentration of virus will be maximum in the respiratory tract. The swab from the nasopharynx. Nasopharyngeal swab means that the swab is taken from nasal cavity and pharynx. It will have highest concentration of viruses as compared to blood, sputum, or oropharyngeal swab. Oro means oral and pharynx. The oropharyngeal swab will also have viruses, influenza viruses in it. Sputum and blood will also contain. Fecal material does not have this virus, but the most preferable specimen here is nasopharyngeal swab because it will have high concentration of influenza virus and the disease diagnosis will be very much easy and clear. So the correct option here is nasopharyngeal swab. So hope this is helpful for you and will provide you a better guideline regarding preparation of NMDCAT and NEET exams for medical and dental college admission test. For more latest videos, please subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.